Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Today, I'm going to be doing another tier list. This is feeling kind of like a tier list week, if you know what I'm talking about. I think the next 2 or 3 days will be tier lists. So if you don't enjoy them, don't watch them. That's fine. Go watch some of my old videos. Or if you don't enjoy my videos, then just don't watch my videos, I guess. But today we're going to be doing a villain tier list, a complete villain tier list. I did do a final boss tier list in the past, but this one is all villains from like every world. I'm gonna be ranking them from S to F tier, so please let me know in the comments after finishing watching whether you agree with my rankings, whether you think my rankings suck, which ones you would change, what you would put where, all of those kind of things. Keep that, do that, yes. So let's get started. All right, first is the Jade Oni. Now the Jade Oni for me is rather a C tier. It's very memorable. Memorable indeed, but I wouldn't put it like top tier. It's very, I mean, it isn't really a character all that much. He just kind of goes, yes, I possessed the Emperor. And then he tries to kill you. And then he has like 6,000 health or something, and then you kill him. And then you win. It's as easy as that. Jade Oni, definitely like kind of C tier, like middle of the road. Malistaire is an S tier, very easy S tier. Sorry, what is that next one? Can I zoom in? At the Dragon Titan? Okay, whatever. Wait, was I zoomed out? I was zoomed out. Okay. Sorry. Malistaire is a very obvious S tier villain. He has motivations for doing what he does, right? He's not just a I'm gonna kill you kind of villain. He's a my wife died of a tragic sickness and now I want to save her kind of villain. Also, I don't know how much how loud this is. Actually, that should be good. All right. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so he's more of a, oh god, my wife died, that's tragic, I need to save her kind of villain, but he's very misguided in doing it. He goes through, does some evil stuff, some evil schmeevil stuff, and then kind of becomes your rival, and eventually you kill him. But obviously he's very much an S tier villain. Villain numero 3 is the Dragon Titan. Now the Dragon Titan's kind of bland, but he's badass. I mean, he's this like almost the size of Dragonspire, and he's huge. And he follows Malistaire. He goes hand in hand with Malistaire, to be honest. Definitely like a B tier, better than Jade Oni, less bland, but at the same time doesn't really have a character, just kind of huge and badass. Next is Queen Calypso, who is a pirate. She's kind of cool. I mean, like, I was trying to come up with some kind of joke of her bottom half being a boat, but I really can't. I'm going to put her into B tier as well. She's, right, it's like different types of B tier, right? Is that B tier is, or like, the Dragon Titan's B tier because he's massive and cool looking. Calypso's B tier because not only is she kind of cool looking, but she also has a good character. She's just not as cool looking as him. That's basically my motivation for that, so I'll put her there. I believe this guy's name is Astrius, something. He is a boss who summons other bosses in Celestia and the Trial of Spheres, and he puts a -90 on himself until you kill all of his things. I'm putting him in E tier. He's boring, and I dislike him immensely. This is another Astral guy. Yeah, this is the other Astral guy. You charmed your way into my heart. He's slightly better. I put him at D tier. And then finally, Mithraya, I will put into C tier because she's kind of cool. You know, it's an ascension of the Trial of Spheres. You can see it got better and better as time went on. I just realized that's like very out of order. It goes like forward from arc something and then goes back, but whatever. Charmbeak, is it Ruska, Charmbeak? That sounds right. Definitely A tier. Inks everywhere. Kind of just exists. I mean, an easy boss. And you know, I remember farming them for Mega Snacks and for the Waterworks hat. So Pog Champ, A Champ. Actually, you know what? That's a B. Sorry, I just realized, I was like, I'll put it in A, but then I paused and was like, there's probably other things that I want on A. This is more of a B tier boss. That is the final guy, Slicer Glowworm. He's also probably a B. He's more just like, yes, we will take out Wizard City with the trash, you know, that kind of thing. And he's like, we're coming from the drains to get the wizards, that kind of thing. B tier, he exists. What boss is that? That doesn't help me. That doesn't help me at all. Okay, that's the... What's his name? Ahmed something? He's the last boss in Zigzag. Kind of bland, not gonna lie. I'm gonna put him at D tier, because I don't even remember his name. That's how not memorable he is. Rattlebones is a solid A tier. I mean, it's to be expected. He's iconic in both of his forms. I mean, he's iconic Exalted, where he kind of does a lot of damage, and then normal, where he's Rattlebones. So I'll put him in the A tier. Servant of Malistaire, all that. Pretty cool. Just realized, is my camera, like, not extended all the way to the end? Oh, there we go. Okay, it's better. Next is, what's his name? Moon and Runeweaver, maybe? He's a part of the Coven in Grizzleheim. I've never liked the Coven. They're just kind of like, we'll revive the Ymir, the Frost Giant, that kind of thing. He's like very C tier, kind of boring, wants to bring the Everwinter. They're like, the Everwinter, that kind of thing, you know? I'll put him into C tier. Okay, and then there's actually the Frost Titan himself. We don't actually fight him. Is this supposed to be the 4 bosses? Are the 4 bosses here? No, so maybe this is supposed to be the 4 Frost Giants and him. They're pretty B tier, even, you know what, actually they're A tier. I always really liked the final 4 giants and how they're like, yes, our father, he's here, daddy. We need to awaken him for the Everwinter. And I'm like, ugh, whatever. Next on our list is Belloc, and Belloc can go screw himself. I hate Belloc with a passion. Not only does he show up once, not twice, but 3 times. One of those times, admittedly, does not have cheats, but I still hate him. He's an F tier character. Screw Belloc. He can die. I don't know who that is. I genuinely don't know who that is. And I couldn't even figure it out when I zoomed in. So I'm just gonna put him into a new row called There we go. He's the first in the tier. The tier. Points to anyone who can tell me what that noise was from. If you can, you're a legend. All right, moving on. This is the guy in Mirror Lake. Oh, maybe this guy's supposed to be the guy from Mirror Lake. He doesn't look like that, though, does he? Okay, if he's the guy from Mirror Lake, I'm going to give him an E tier, because he's the guy that we follow around constantly, like CC Snaketail, and he's stupid, and we hate him. He's bad. Next, this elephant guy, I don't know him. He just puts a -90 on himself. I despise him. Or, not despise him, I just dislike him. Starburst spiders, they're also an E tier. Those are all E tier enemies. I don't care about any of them. Next is the Jabberwock. This is an A tier enemy. I like that he speaks in rhymes, because that's just kind of funny. And also, he has some pretty cool sets of cheats. Honestly, those are some of my favorite cheats in the game, because they're dangerous, but you can get around them, you know? Which is why I really like him. So I'll put him there. Is this supposed to be Morganth? It doesn't have a face. I don't know if you guys can see that. It cuts off the face, and it's just the body. And I think it's supposed to be Morganth. So I'll put Morganth at D tier where she belongs, because Morganth is a bad character. Just generally. So I'll leave her there. It's where she belongs. The Pendragon, kind of cool. I'll put him into B tier. It's who King Artorias becomes. He's kind of possessed by the Pendragon, so I'll put him into B tier. I do like dragons. This is the like black dragon, the final boss of Avalon. I'm gonna put them in the C tier. They're less cool than the Pendragon. They're just kind of another dragon, which is interesting. Malistaire the Undying. I don't know if this is the Darkmoor version. If this is the Darkmoor version, he'll go higher. Okay, this isn't the Darkmoor version. This is the Azteca version, which I'm gonna put into E tier because it was a very lame twist that it turns out, oh yeah, Malistaire's back. Found him floating through the spiral somewhere, and I'm like, huh? What? Who? Or no, they like revived him and then he got sent to the spiral floating somewhere. I don't know. But that's beside the point. He's just kind of lame. I don't like him as much. Screw him. Zeus. Now, Zeus is a character I like. I'm not going to put him into S tier, but he's a solid A tier character, definitely. He's like, yes, I am the All-Father. Lightning bolt. And then he shoots you in the face. I do love the Immortal games. I've always loved Aquila, and I think he's a pretty good character. Next we have Poseidon, who in my opinion isn't really as good as Zeus, but I do still like him. He's here. He's cool. Oh, that's a vibe. Okay. Oh, that's loud. All right, turning that down. I'm gonna turn that down even more. Why is it so loud? I don't know. But next we have the Harvest Lord. It's kind of a weird throw in there with the order we're doing it, but he's the Harvest Lord. He's like, I'm gonna take over Wizard City. I think he sounded like that. And then he was like, I stole Susie Griffinbane. Yeah, I don't know why I made the Coven and him sound the same, but that's what they sound like now. He's kind of like a D tier. I don't know. He's just kind of lame. He's the Harvest Lord. You'd think he'd be a bit cooler, but he's not. Hades the Unseen, I'm going to put him up with Zeus. I think he's kind of cool. I think Poseidon's the odd one out just because I feel like Aquila's the most forgettable of the 3 dungeons. Or sorry, Atlantia, not Aquila. Sorry, I'm having a time. But I think that's fair. This is Ghost Dog. It's a Ghost Dog. I mean, come on. He's probably my favorite of the bosses that we fight in Chrysalis, Morganth's generals. And when we fight him again in the galleries, it's kind of cool throwback. I've always liked Ghost Dog. He offers some wisdom, you know, all of those things. He's a ninja. I mean, you can't really get that much cooler than that. Next is Morganth at the end of Chrysalis. I'm still gonna put her in D tier. Morganth is just lame. She has no motivation to be evil. I just dislike her, right? I've talked about this in the past, but I think Morganth is the worst of the 3 arc villains. Mostly because she's evil for the sake of being evil. Evil for the sake of power. Realistically, she doesn't have the motivation that Malistaire and Old Cobb have. Where Old Cobb wants to regain his Chaos Heart and destroy the Spiral because Grandmother Raven, you know, was very petty and locked him up and destroyed him. You know, there's that. And then Malistaire obviously just wants to save his dead wife. Morganth is kind of the odd one out. She's kind of like, yeah, I wanted power, I guess. That's cool. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Shane Von Shane, he's kind of funny. I like his name. I'm going to put him into B tier. Kind of cool. I like when he goes into the mech suit and he's like, yes, I am here now. Malistaire the Undying, I'm going to put him into A tier because I feel like Malistaire the Undying is like the epitome of Malistaire, right? Or he's not Malistaire as good as Malistaire was in Arc 1, but he's still the epitome of Malistaire. He struggled for so long, he's been twisted by the dark, and he wants to finally put down the wizard who foiled his plans to go to his dead wife. And then he challenges you to the rite of Kandavasi. You accept. You beat him up. And then he's like, thank you, wizard. I'm leaving now. See ya. And then he goes off with his dead wife. They like caress each other sensually. It's kind of awkward. And then they walk through a portal to the alternate dimension, also known as death. So that was pretty cool. There's this fire guy in Polaris. I don't even know who he is. I'm putting him in E tier, to be honest. And then there's this guy who is another one of Rasputin's generals. He's a death guy. I'm gonna put him into D tier because he's a bit cooler than the fire guy, but like not by much. I think he has a book that he does something with, and then he kills you. I don't remember why. The rat. I'd say that the rat is kind of like a meh character. I like Rasputin, but then towards the end he gets kind of like petty. He's kind of like, my plans to destroy the spiral. Why? Why have you defeated me so? And then old Cobb comes and is like, stop whining, you little piece of crap. And then bullies him and, you know, all that stuff. So the rat to me is probably, I'll put him at a C tier. He's the rat. This is, I think, okay, is this a boss in in Chrysalis, or is this the boss? No, because is that what Omen looks like? I've never fought Omen before. Wait, let me see. Wizard101 Omen. That is what Omen looks like. It's because I've never fought Omen before in my life. So Omen, I don't know anything about him. I'm putting him in a D tier because he's in Polaris. I don't know. Maybe C tier? I don't know. Whatever makes you guys happy. He goes somewhere on the list. Excuse me, I need to yawn. There we go. He goes somewhere on the list. Personally, I've never fought Omen before in my life, which might surprise a lot of you, but Duncan Grimwater is a complete dweeb. I'm putting him into F tier. Let's be honest, Duncan Grimwater is laughable at how dweebish he is. He's just a total dork. And then he's like, you ruined my chances to get into the Cabal. Now's my chance to fight you. And then he, like, you know, pulls his hood down over his eyes. He's like, nobody understands me. Nobody understands me. Right? And then you bully him and kill him. And that's always fun to me. Duncan Grimwater's stupid. Is his name Achilles? General Achilles. Is it? I don't know. But anyways, he's the myth boss at the end of Cyclops Lane. I'm gonna put him into C tier. He follows the Cyclops Code of Honor. And he's like, I may have kidnapped these kids, but I will let them go if you defeat me. You know, and then you bully him, and then he's like, I must uphold my Code of Honor. And then he leaves. So that's cool. The Scorpion is like the rat, but stupid. He doesn't know how to plan things correctly. He's in D tier. Greta Darkkettle is dumb, almost as dumb as Duncan Grimwater. I don't like either of them, to be honest. She's like, I don't know why I gave her the Harvest Lord and the Coven's voice. She's like, they cast me out of that school, and now they will rue the day. That's her voice, in my opinion. So I'm putting her there. She's stupid. Mallory, I don't really know if she's a villain. Is she a villain? This is her at the end of Mirage. We don't fight her. She just tries to kick old Cobb because she is stupid. I don't know. Mallory? She's not really a villain. I mean, Mallory's cool. If I was ranking Mallory's character, I'd put her like up A, but she's not really a villain. As a villain, she's just kind of... I don't know. I'm gonna put her there. Whatever. Old Cobb Grandfather Spider, he's an S tier. I would put him on the same level as Malistaire, as he actually has motivations for what he's doing, right? Grandmother Raven stole his heart, really funny, and then locked it up. And then he's like, this sucks, I hate everything. And obviously, he's not going to feel sympathy or empathy for the Spiral because he doesn't have a heart, so he can't feel. But eventually, we figure everything out. He gets his heart back, and then all is well in the Spiral. I've always thought he's really cool. I also like how he helps us defeat Morganth. I always thought that arc was super cool. I really like him. Honestly, yeah, sick. S tier. Also, just a comment. This is just like a question I've always had is, if Grandmother Raven watches over everything, why doesn't she stop us from freeing old Cobb? I don't know. Anyways, what? It's the Cabal book. Why? Huh? Why is it the Cabal book? We don't fight a book, do we? I don't know. E tier? I don't know. Uh, the Bat. Now, the Bat is really cool. I would put the Bat in A tier. He's one of my favorite characters, definitely. I like how he's a villain, not because he's the villain, but more that he's trying to stop Grandfather Spider because he kind of realizes what's happening. He's obviously Batman because he's the Bat, which is cool. I've always really liked him. I think he's one of the best characters in Arc 3. Definitely. I obviously he's not the same level as Malisaire and Grandfather Spider at S tier, but he's up there. He's pretty good. Medulla was a former Arcanum scholar who joined the Cabal and left. And he's really smart. He can confuse people and control their minds. I'd put him up in B tier. He's a pretty cool character, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely up there in interesting characters. I'm moving Queen Calypso down to C tier because I realize she doesn't really fit with the rest of the characters up here. So, yeah. Grandmother Raven, honestly, I hate her as a character. Like, I dislike Grandmother Raven immensely because she just acts illogically. She's stupid. And I dislike her as a villain. Obviously, when you save her in Grizzlehelm and Wintertusk, all that's cool. I like her pre-Arc 3. I like Grandmother Raven. After she just becomes kind of stupid and annoying. And she's like, "You've let the shadow taint your soul, young wizard." I can't do a Grandmother Raven voice. And then, yeah, I don't know. She's just... Dark Merle Ambrose. I always thought this was really cool. I'm gonna put him up here. Definitely up there. I always thought it was really cool that you fight him in like the Dream World and Imperia. The Trident thing, I don't know, it's the Trident, right? It's kind of just a big stick with horns. The Aether Titan, I always thought he was kind of lame. He's like Grandfather Spider and Grandmother Raven's kid, and then he like fights you. I don't know, kind of boring. Prince Elikane Swift Arrow, I've always liked him because he's like, "This is your final act," you know, and then he like tries to shoot you with a bow, all that thing. He's pretty sick, right? Next is the Kraken, who's just an iconic boss. I mean, obviously I'm not going to put him into S tier because I feel like, obviously, I mean, he's iconic, but he's not an S tier character. Honestly, A tier is pushing it, but he's iconic. As I've said 3 times now, I know I'm repeating myself wondrously. But Kraken, kind of sick. Not going to lie. He has a giant lightning rod. Foul Gaze, yeah, he exists. He's a C tier. Lord Nightshade, yeah, he's a C tier. They're just kind of like boring. I don't know. They don't particularly have that interesting of a character. Crocopatra, I've always found to be a really interesting character. I've talked about this in the past, especially in my final boss video. I ranked her pretty highly because I think her backstory is really cool. I'm not going to go over it again, but if you want to know that, look up my complete story guide series and then look at the Crocotopia one. I think you'll really like it if you're interested in the characters and in the story. That series, by the way, will probably come back at some point in the future. I just don't know when. The next one is Azteca, which is most of the reason why I'm delaying. So just give me a bit, right? I'll get it done. Dr. Von Kassenstein. I'd put him into B tier. He's pretty cool, but he's not like anything super special. He creates things. He exists. Actually, you know what? He's more of a C tier character. Meowiarty is definitely an A tier character. I mean, he's Meowiarty. He has that keen intelligence on him. Calm down, Avalon. What the heck theme is this? What? You know what? We're going to Chrysalis. That was crazy. Sorry, I just... Oh. Oof. Alright. I don't know if I finished my reasoning. Whatever. We're moving on to this last one, which I cannot tell who it is. It's a bug, I think. Why couldn't you have gotten an actual screenshot? I don't know who it is. So, okay, someone in the comments tell me who this is. As of right now, they're in F tier. That's the end of this video. You know, it's a longer one, but whatever. Tier list kind of mood. I thought it was fun. Gave all of my opinions on the character. Did some fun voices. So if you enjoyed, drop a like at the sub button. If you didn't, whatever. I'll see you in the next video. Have a fantastic day. Thank you all for watching.